A lot to get through, but the buzz is all about getting into that anti-obesity market. Give us a sense of timeline, give us a sense of pricing. You must have an idea, and that's why you said it could cost less than the shots.
So thanks for having me. Yes, a lot of excitement today. Obviously, we had a very strong quarter in the third quarter, but we also increased our guidance for the year with a few months to go, just given the strength we're seeing. So we increased both our EPS guidance as well as our total revenue guidance ex-COVID. There is a lot of excitement around the obesity space, as you know. The current products on the market are both injectable products that are available. And the license agreement that we did with Eccogene is for an oral GLP-1. This is still early in development. It is in phase 1, and we expect to take it into phase 2 towards the end of next year. Because it's an oral molecule, it's obviously easier to manufacture, and we hope that over time, most of the market, as more oral products come into the market for obesity, the market will transition to more oral. When we did surveys and we talked to patient preference, more than 2/3 patients obviously would prefer an oral product. So we think there's a lot of potential in the obesity market.
Aradhana, good morning. It's Guy. What do you think is having the biggest effect on the stock today? You're up by 2 and a bit %. You're pushing the FTSE 1 higher by around 14 points. But I'm wondering what you think that is. Is that your great numbers, and is that your guidance change? Or is it the fact that you're doing this in obesity? Because as you say, the buzz is there. I'm curious as to how you're kind of thinking about how you're going to drive share price forward at the moment, and to what extent this decision to get into this space was a kind of precursor to that.
So I can't really speculate on the stock price, but I think it's a combination of multiple factors. So clearly, it is the results and our performance that has not only been very strong in third quarter, and as I said, we raised guidance, but consistent over the last several quarters and last several years. I think secondly, it is the strength of our pipeline, broadly speaking. So if you think about it, we have about 120 phase 2 and phase 3 studies ongoing right now. We've had several positive trial readouts this year. We have several regulatory approvals, and we expect to continue that momentum into next year. So it's the ability really to replenish the pipeline and continue launching new drugs. And then thirdly, while the license that we did for this GLP-1 is interesting, it really builds on the cardiovascular, renal, metabolic area that we've actually been pioneers on for many decades. One of our largest products right now is Farxiga, which is an SGLT2, which has become really the fundamental treatment for patients with diabetes, with heart disease, with chronic kidney disease. So, and most of these diseases are actually linked. So, it's not just obesity, it's the ability to treat patients with comorbid conditions.
Absolutely. And obviously the oncology section of AstraZeneca, huge, with some solid results in different drugs. I'm just wondering, if we talk about the anti-obesity market, I mean, the numbers are really staggering. Other companies like in clothing or restaurants or the snack companies, they're coming out and already saying that they're going to be hurt on sales, or they're worried about it because of these kinds of drugs. Do you feel like we're a little bit too far down this road of what this actually means?
Yeah, I mean, again, I won't speculate on the impact on food companies and the like, but obesity is definitely a growing problem, and as wealth levels have risen both in emerging markets and in the developed world, it has become a greater problem. But I think we have to look at it not just obesity itself, but actually all the comorbidities that it causes, everything from sleep apnea to metabolic disease to, diabetes and diabetic kidney disease. So I think it's the benefit of a drug like this, especially in combination with some of our other products, could be to actually, truly address the medical and the cardiometabolic conditions.
We're going to see a big meeting next week between President Biden and President Xi in San Francisco. we're all wondering ultimately how the world is going to change as we fragment, and that relationship increasingly looks like it's going to become difficult. You are caught up in this to a certain extent. We have an anti-corruption drive that is taking place in China. What impact is that having? How do you see that market developing? Do you think this is going to become the new normal? Are you rethinking your relationship with China going forward?
So we have a very strong presence in China. We are the leading pharmaceutical company in China. And, it's again based on the strength of the innovation and the new product launches that we've had. I think we as a pharmaceutical company are in a very unique position because our objective is to treat patients no matter where they are. And, we don't really see from a ground, on the ground standpoint, the impact on geopolitics. We're in a very strong position, as I mentioned, commercially, but that also gives us the opportunity to leverage into the innovation that is coming out of China. For example, the license agreement that you saw today. So, our objective remains very clear, which is to focus on innovation, regardless of where that comes from, and to serve patients, again, regardless of where they are on the planet.